Welcome to the round of Nova Scotia for the first Canadian race of the season here at the R. Kelly International Raceway here in Nova Scotia. This is one of the slower road courses we have on our schedule. It's a very slow and twisty road course that involves a lot of patience, and it does involve a lot of close racing, though we've seen it from some of the tests. As I said in the Indianapolis 250, this is where we start seeing who's going to be the real contenders for the championship here. And now we're actually, now that we're in, coming towards the end here, we're entering the Canadian Tour, so 3 races here in Canada, 1 here in, Newfoundland, 1 in Quebec, and 1 in, way out there in British Columbia on the west coast. And then we go back to America for a few races, then Australia, then South America, and then we're, going to South Africa, and then back to Amaria. So, not long left in the season. Still got a couple of races left, but it's going to be a very interesting end of the season coming up here. So, without further ado, here comes the round of Nova Scotia. Kyle Collins leads the field down to the green here at the R. Kelly International Raceway. Homeboy Kyle Collins. I don't believe he lives too far from here in Nova Scotia, as looks like Jacob Hart's trying to get the lead here, as you're starting to see a bit of a downpour is taking place right here. Just on the start, about 15 minutes before the start, it started raining here at the R. Kelly International Raceway outside of Halifax, as Tristan Willowite's now all over the back of Kyle Collins to try and get up the order here, as field's kind of maneuvering their way out there. Great starting spot by Fitzwater, and a little further back we're seeing another group of cars doing a good job as well. I'm expecting a lot of people to take it quite easy because it's the first rain race we've had all season, as they got their windshield wipers on and their intermediate tires. Might go to full wets later. Lucien Ekdahl now is closing in on the back of DJ Curtis for 3rd position as we're going on board the Durban Sport car, as they kind of maneuver their way here. There's a little bit of clearing over there, if you can kind of tell in the clouds. We just had that clearing there, so about a little bit further to the west, you'll see weather's not that great here. And you're seeing that it is kind of difficult to pass on this track, even in the dry, and in the wet, it's even harder. As now you're seeing Ryan Griffin's trying to get Jake Baskinger here. Griffin's been a man on Baskinger's been a man on a move. Makes that position stick. At the back of the grid, we have a couple of cars that should be doing better here. John Arndt is one of the championship contenders, and his rookie year, Jessica Shelton, has done well in the past here, but she has never been a really good rain racer. A little further up, you got both the Honda development cars. Michele won the Indy 250 last week, and Andrew Cross not doing well. Kuznetsov, I would have thought in a rain race he would be doing better, but obviously that's not the case down in 33rd position, or down in 34th position. A little further up the grid, Trek Tauger. Roush has actually gained a couple of spots from the start. Nick Pertuley's struggling in the rain here. Siren, the Australian, Charles Samper not looking well. He's our point leader, I believe, right now. So yeah, not a good start for some drivers who were looking for good races here out of Nova Scotia. Ekdahl now is trying to get by DJ Curtis here, and maybe around the outside, that's where things are going to work. He does get a run off that corner there, but in this kind of weather conditions, I don't exactly think that's going to be necessarily the best idea here, as this track is very slick and these cars aren't the best in the rain. You just say they don't make a ton of downforce as it is. And luckily this is a pretty high downforce track, so they had a lot of downforce already cranked into these cars. And you're seeing Ekdahl is all over the back of DJ Curtis right now. Ryan Griffin's another car that's been on a charge as of late now, as he is looking very well gripped to the circuit here in the Silver Speed car. Team out of Michigan, looking for one of their better results so far here. Griffin could be a championship contender if he can get his act together here. And right now he is trying to catch Jacob Hart here. And the leaders aren't that far ahead of him, so this could be a pretty good race for Griffin if he plays his cards right. But like I said, he has to play his cards right. James Shelley's all over the back of Chris Washer. We also got Myatt trying to get underneath Angel there. I thought Angel would do better here, too. He's pretty high up in the points, and he's not doing well here in the rain. Myatt typically is a rain racer, and he is probably the fastest car on the track right now. Myatt is, but he's a long way down the order, and he's got a long way to go if he's ever going to catch up toward the front. But he's pretty much faster than, I think, no, not the fastest car on track. I think that's Aaron Perkins right now. But I'm looking further up, and oh, maybe not. I'm thinking it might be actually Lucien Ekdahl. So, no, maybe it isn't Ekdahl, but it's definitely Aaron Perkins here. So Aaron Perkins doing a great job there, but Myatt's also a really quick rocket ship back there, as Perkins is trying to make a move on Fitzwater. Fitzwater didn't, of course, qualify for the Indy 250. And now they're side by side down the straightaway here, entering a couple of these cornering complexes. So not a lot of these drivers. Typically, ARCSOA is a very aggressive series, and we're seeing that that isn't the case today. First incident of the race, we have one between Tanya Jackwater and Trek Tauger. They are going down the straightaway here. This was I think a lap ago, actually. Here, Jackwater's getting held up here by Roush here, trying to get by Scott Roush there in 30th position, as Tauger's going to get aggressive here and accidentally get into the back of Jackwater, and off the track they go. And minor damage to both cars. They would both continue. Another car who might be burning up his tires a little quick here is Zachary Fitzwater here. As I know it's a rain race, and rain tires tend to not go as quickly as some others, but Fitzwater's car just doesn't look as strong as some of the other cars around him, so I wonder if he had a qualifying setup in that car, because he right now is looking to try and score something here, and that's going to make things pretty interesting. We're on board the helmet cam of Lucien Ekdahl here as he's trying to reel in Tristan Wilhoit and Kyle Collins, for that matter. As you're going to hear the sound of, I'm going to shut up here and just listen to the sound of this wonderful turbo V6 engine. That is one of the best sounds of a race car I can ever think of right there, as Lucien Ekdahl displayed it. I think we need to get more of those sounds, because I love the sounds of these ARCSOA Elite Series cars. I hope the engine formula never changes so that we don't lose the awesome sounds that we get from this series. Tanya Jackwater from dead last on the racing order right now. It grenade the motor and fall out of the race. Tough break for Jackwater. First casualty of the race, 8 laps in. Christian Vander Pesch is making a move for the lead here. This is a kind of an aggressive move, and Vander Pesch makes it stick. Vander Pesch will take over that position on Baskinger. Maybe not here, but he would get the position away from Jake Baskinger. However, it seems like the rain might be getting a little bit harder as Kyle Collins would slide wide in that corner, giving the lead to Tristan Wilhoit, and Lucien Ekdahl in second position as there might be something else wrong with the Collins car. I'm not sure, though, but he did slide wide pretty easily there, but that might have just been due to aquaplaning, or hydroplaning, but I like to say aquaplaning a little better. And yes, that was due to aquaplaning. That puts Tristan Wilhoit in the lead of this race now. Wilhoit, Road Atlanta winner on a very high-speed Road Atlanta track, high-speed technical one. This is a very low-speed technical track. Not a very fast track, to be honest with you. It is kind of a meandering course. Quite different from the British Columbia track we're going to be going to, but I am interested to see what Wilhoit's going to do here with the lead. With the lead right now. Nick Percules would be the first car to pit. I think we're scheduled stops here. He might actually be going to full wet tires. I'm not sure. Now that it is getting a little bit heavier rainfall here. Yeah, it looks like maybe full wet tires for Tristan Wilhoit. We might start seeing that change over here, although this is a bit early. Ooh, Atkins goes wide there with Tauger. This is a little bit early, though, to go on a full wet, so I don't think the track's necessarily there yet. Now Tomas Serna would join the full wet brigade with Hercules here as he files onto pit road here and is going on a full wet. Somebody else is too. That's James Shelley is going to full wet. That's Joshua Michaels and Kyle Bichelia. So this is going to be interesting now that we're going to start seeing some cars on full wets and seeing what they'll do in comparison to some of these cars still on intermediate tires. As weather conditions aren't getting great, and we're seeing Wilhoit struggling with that as Ekdahl is all over him now. Go back on board his helmet cam. We're going to see maybe Ekdahl take the lead here. As Wilhoit is getting under control of that car, though, despite being, I think, at a grip disadvantage. I think right about now, some of these teams are going to start thinking about coming down and getting new tires or changing tires. Neither Ekdahl or Wilhoit did. I'm looking for more, maybe. Washer, nope. I just think a couple of cars are being very aggressive. Oh, here comes Rahal in. Rahal's going to try and go for a new, try and change down to full wet tires, so that's going to be interesting to watch now as we're going to see who has the fastest lap times now. However, Lucien Ekdahl would get alongside Tristan Wilhoit here, and I think Ekdahl would actually get the position coming out of the corner. I'm not exactly sure, though. Ekdahl slings it around the outside there, which that sets him up for the inside for this corner, and that's going to put Ekdahl, I believe, in the lead, but Wilhoit's still there. As now they come onto the front straightaway here. And it looks like Collins is coming in for a brand new set of tires as Luke Cross nearly got into him. And so is Aaron Perkins, who is one of the fastest cars in the adverse conditions. Now Wilhoit's all over the back of Ekdahl now. As this race is becoming a pretty close one at the front of the field. Ooh, Wilhoit way late on the brakes. A lot later, Ekdahl trying to slide in that gap. That's what you got to do if you're Wilhoit. Ryan Griffin, however, is still the fastest car on the track, even on intermediate tires. So maybe a couple of cars did go a little early there, and he gets by DJ Curtis pretty easily, who slid wide there due to the wet pavement. And now we're seeing Ryan Griffin up into third. Our pit road is becoming a lot busier now, as we are seeing some drivers like DJ Curtis, Chris Washer, Noah Hart, Kenny Myatt, Tyler Thaber, Angel Dodd, and a few other drivers, Roush and Shelton, all coming in for full wet tires. So we're going to see how much time they lose in comparison. Baskinger also came in. So these cars are cars that you need to watch because the leaders still haven't made that move just yet. Wilhoit is still out there circulating the track here with Ekdahl. Arndt is a lap down, actually held up Griffin a bit there. And Wilhoit's coming down. Maybe going to try and leapfrog Ekdahl there, as a bunch of other cars are trying to come down pit road here. Because there is a fuel question in this race as well, but when do you come in for tires is a big question also. So it's trying to see how long you can last out there on intermediate tires before flipping onto wets, because that'll make your fuel mileage better. Polson are one of the high qualifying drivers. Jacob Hart would leave the pits, and DJ Curtis would actually get into him here. And they would both spin out, and around them they went into the gravel pit. And that was incident number 2 of the race, so only 2 incidents in about 18 laps, so that's pretty impressive for an ARCSOA race, especially one in the rain. Ekdahl would finally come down pit road to get his tires to flip onto the new compound, and he would actually get a pretty big lead out of that from the pit cycle here, as Wilhoit now is trying to chase him down with Collins all over him. Collins is becoming really quick as well. However, Ekdahl, I don't think on these full wets will be as strong. It seems like his car is more of a straight line speed car, one that can get off of a corner well, and full wets tends to not be good conditions for that. Jay Stella would grenade his motor in the 31 car and fall out of the race, so that's, I believe, the second car out of the race. Jay Stella, tough break. Vander Pesch, Shepard, and Samper, I think, were the last cars to pit is now, wow, they've actually really caught now. Ekdahl now, Wilhoit and Collins have. Collins, of course, our pole sitter today. I'm sorry if I maybe called Hart the pole sitter. He was one of the front qualifiers. And now you got Wilhoit getting underneath Ekdahl now. They're side by side through these couple of S-bends. I'm guessing Kyle Collins is going to love this because they're racing each other pretty hard. And it looks like Wilhoit's going to get the position here with his chassis. The Porsche has one of the best chassis in the field and can generate a lot of grip. And Wilhoit to the lead now. I'm wondering what Collins is going to do here. Remember, this is Collins' home race, I believe, so I'm interested to see if Collins is going to start getting pretty aggressive here. Now you've also got Aaron Perkins on the scene as well. A couple other drivers. Still Brock is still out there in the lead with Matthews. A couple other cars, Kuznetsov, and then there's Wilhoit. Wilhoit is, I believe, going to be the leader again. Tyler Faber's been having problems recently as he is coming down pit road a couple of times to, I think he had a mechanical problem and he got towed back to the pit, so tough break for Faber. Another car a lap down now is Joshua Michaels, who hasn't been strong as this race has gone on. A lot of uncertainty around him as Collins is trying to hold off Saarinen, who's gotten by Aaron Perkins, so it's right now the leaders are starting to separate themselves from this kind of pack back here. As the race will continue now, it looks like the rain's letting up a little bit, so people are putting on intermediate tires now. So Saarinen and Vanderpesch come on pit road along with Michelia and a few others. A couple of these cars will stay out on full wets a little bit longer because I think they're trying to match themselves up with a fuel strategy at the same time. So Wilhoit doing a good job, I think, with trying to manage these tires. Here comes Ryan Griffin on the inside of Kyle Collins. This is an impressive run here by Griffin here. This wasn't a track that I strongly expected the Silver Speed to be that great at. Silver Speed's known for their top speed. And on a small, twisty road course in Nova Scotia, in the rain of all weather conditions, I didn't exactly expect Ryan Griffin to be all that of a serious contender for this race. But Griffin's leaving me pleasantly surprised. Ekdahl would switch on to intermediates before Wilhoit would. And now we're going to see how Ekdahl does with some maybe enhanced grip as Fontana, I believe, is already flipped onto. Now, he's still on full wets and slid wide, so I'm not sure what that was about, but I am interested to see what Ekdahl's going to do now. In response to Ekdahl coming down pit road, Wilhoit now is coming down pit road as well, so it is a battle of monkey see, monkey do right here as Ryan Griffin takes the lead in this race right now. Collins, I believe, pitted. So, yeah, Collins on pit road now. So the big question is, where is Ekdahl? In comparison to Wilhoit. Gonna go on board his roof cam here. This is where Ekdahl should be able to gap him here. Ekdahl needs to be able to, and he didn't, obviously. You got to stay out longer, I think, to really make this work as Wilhoit's out of the pits, and I think Saarinen's actually going to be the big gainer here. Ryan Griffin will be the last car to bring it down pit road, and with how pit strategy's been, it wouldn't surprise me if Griffin ends up taking the lead out of this, as we're seeing Wilhoit's quite a ways back, and has a lot of pressure from Saarinen. That is the okay, it is. He wasn't the last car to pit, but the leader came in. So now you got Wilhoit gonna try and get Griffin here. I think Griffin's gonna get the spot though. Provisional lead. And Griffin's coming out of the pits. There's Wilhoit. Oh, this is gonna be close. Yeah, but right now Griffin's got the position, I believe, unless if Wilhoit can keep it under control. Wilhoit slides it wide, and Saarinen's actually gonna get Wilhoit's spot, so I believe this is the battle for the top pit here as Alex Allen has had to have not pitted yet. Unless he's doing another miracle run, which we've seen Alex Allen do. There's a lot of thought that he might be going to a DNC ride next year, Alex Allen. Cooper Siren would grenade the Qantas Team Australia car, and that's Siren's race over here at the R. Kelly International Speedway. Tough break for Siren. Griffin now is under threat by Saarinen here, as Saarinen's going to dive under. Here comes Ekdahl underneath Saarinen here. Griffin loses 2 spots there. Maybe 3 if Wilhoit can get underneath him. But now, I think provisional leader is Saarinen, unless it's the actual leader right here, where I don't even know where he is on track, to be honest with you. Is somewhere, actually it is Jacob Eichholz, so I did the whole loop of the field. And these 2 I don't think have pitted yet. They're still on full wets, and that's why Saarinen's quicker. Saarinen's having a tough time getting by Alex Allen. And that's going to put Ekdahl right there. And now Saarinen gets by Alex Allen. All right, Eichholz leads this race, and I don't believe he's pitted yet, because if he did, then Action Terra is legitimately leading this race, which would surprise me in all honesty. But maybe that is the case, because neither of them pitted, so I don't know. Maybe the Action Terra and Nokia Finland are this far up the order. Saarinen now is all over the back now of Eichholz for the lead, which Saarinen's going to try and make this quick because his Scandinavian brethren. Ekdahl is going to be right on his bumper, and that's going to put Griffin on his bumper, which is going to put, Kenny Myatt pretty high up the order right there. Alex Allen and Eichholz finally come down pit road. And now we've got a battle for the lead here between Saarinen and Ekdahl. I think Saarinen got held up there, and Ekdahl's going to take the position as Saarinen slots in a second with a great defensive job there on Griffin. So, here comes Saarinen back on the inside now. Saarinen didn't like losing the lead because of Eichholz holding him up. And this is where racing is going to get very close. Myatt, who has been one of the fastest cars today, up into 4th, I think, legitimately. I think he has made his pit stops, and now doing a great cycle. He's up in the top 5. Saarinen, however, once again would have to come down pit road now. We're looking at maybe another set of inters going on the car. No, actually, we're seeing full wets going on, so maybe these cars jump to, there is expected another heavy downburst coming, so a couple of these cars are short pitting. See what they can do. Ooh, contact there between Noah Hart and Vanderpash. That's kind of a interesting pit box cycle, but that's actually going to give good old Lucien Ekdahl a pretty big lead over Kenny Myatt in second. Myatt, of course, got by Wilhoit Griffin, who got held up by Saarinen coming down pit road. You may have been asking who the other helmet cam was, and that's Kenny Myatt, the Buckeye Bullet, the Ohioan. And he is catching Lucien Ekdahl for the lead. And this is where things are going to get interesting, because both these drivers know what it is to race in the rain. Myatt's, of course, done it before in this series, and Ekdahl's done it before in what other facets of racing he's been in. So Ekdahl and Myatt are going to, I think, have a nice duel here on intermediate tires when they're saying you probably should be on full wets. Myatt now is all over the back of Ekdahl as this race continues to keep going, and they're getting actually reeled in by Ryan Griffin, who's setting the fastest laps of the race right now. So Ryan Griffin is becoming the fastest car on the track, and they're going to need to watch out here, because if Griffin gets a good run coming up here, they're not going to be winning this race, either of them. So they're going to have to make this duel quick and easy and painless here, or else they're not going to have much of a chance when Griffin catches them. And now you've got Myatt versus Ekdahl going around the back half of this track. And I'm interested to see if some of these cars will bring it down pit road here. Seems like kind of a decision that they would make right about now because of the weather reports. Here comes Ekdahl down pit road from the lead, but that's going to inherit the lead of Myatt. So Myatt's your leader. And Ekdahl's coming down pit road as well. So, Aaron Perkins on pit road with, Aaron Perkins must have a problem. Yeah, Aaron Perkins, I think, would have some type of fuel pickup problem here in the middle of the corner here. Get on the gas, and I don't think, that car just would die on her. And Messina and Baskinger and Collins would split her. And, Perkins, tough break for being one of the fastest cars of the day. However, Kenny Myatt would have to deal with John Arndt coming out of the pits, and that would actually put Myatt way wide into the grass, and that would give Griffin the lead now. So Myatt leads one lap, and then Ryan Griffin leads the race. So Ryan Griffin now is your leader. And with that, I think the Petronas Honda Brigade knew to bring Myatt down pit road and get full wets on, as Ryan Griffin stays out another lap, and we're seeing Ryan Griffin now staying out later has improved your run, and now you got Ryan Griffin with a pretty substantial lead right now. Andy's staying out, so that could be good for Griffin. Ryan Griffin and Tristan Wilhoit would actually employ a strategy of waiting and seeing what happens for the rain, as is a couple of these other cars. Sean Angel, I believe Collins might be playing that same strategy. Kuznetsov's not. Brock is. Curtis is. Washer is. A bunch of these cars are waiting because they're thinking that the rain's not going to come. That's going to miss the track. But now Myatt's leading over Ekdahl, so that's going to be your provisional leader when these cycles sort themselves. Or, well, actually, no, it could be Griffin, but we know Griffin's going to have to pit, but he is actually not running as quick as he was. From second position, though, Tristan Wilhoit would grenade the Porsche and fall out of the race, so Porsche's bad luck continues. Tough break for Porsche. I really thought this would be their breakout race. So Griffin would finally bring his car down pit road here as there comes Cross out of around here as we're looking for Ekdahl now, who is in, I believe, ahead of Griffin. And I believe that would give, as Myatt would have to come down pit road again. So Griffin leapfrogged to stop there. A lot of these cars are going back on inters after trying full wets, so Myatt didn't play that strategy card right. The Petronas card did not. However, Ekdahl, who was on full wets, would have to come down pit road again, giving the lead back to Ryan Griffin, who pretty much just out pit strategy called everybody and has a giant lead right now. So great move by the Silver Speed Brigade to get back, pretty much eliminate an entire pit stop there just by looking at a weather report. Some other cars that played the strategy call right are Sean Angel, who did very well. Kyle Collins did well. Brock did well. DJ Curtis, Washer played it well. Samper and Matthews, they've been flipping positions back and forth. Ben Atkins, despite not qualifying well, doing well. Scott Roush, I think, is going to round out the top 10. However, Myatt is leading the cars that didn't play pit strategy right. And there's still questions whether or not maybe Ekdahl could make it on fuel. But some of these cars can make it on fuel. But we know Myatt can't, so he is leading that group. However, I don't see Ekdahl. I see Ekdahl making it. Or not Ekdahl, Griffin making it. It's all a fuel strategy call now. But I think they're going to make it. However, Ryan Griffin and Silver Speed's brilliant call would, in fact, pretty much guarantee him the race. Nothing really happened in the final stages of this race. It's just everybody's kind of just staying on the track, minding their P's and Q's. Been a very calm race, probably the calmest race of the season so far. As Ryan Griffin comes off the final corner here, just a couple more kinks to go at flat out. And Ryan Griffin is going to pick up this win here. The round of Nova Scotia goes to Ryan Griffin after a rainy and wet race there that wasn't wild, surprisingly. Sean Angel's going to come up second. Third position is going to go to Kyle Collins. Great to see the hometown hero on the podium. He would have liked to get a win, but not going to happen. Brock fourth, Curtis fifth, Samper sixth, Washer seventh, Matthews eighth. Ninth goes to Ekdahl. I believe Myatt had to pit again, and 10th's going to go to Ben Atkins. So, actually, no, 10th's I think going to go to Vander Pesch. So, great job by Christian Vander Pesch. We'll go down to your full finishing results. So, Ryan Griffin's your winner today. Sean Angel second. Third, it goes to Kyle Collins. Fourth goes to William Brock. Fifth goes to DJ Curtis. Sixth goes to Charles Sanford. Seventh goes to Chris Washer. Eighth goes to Ryan Matthews. Ninth to Lucien Ekdahl. 10th to Christian Vander Pesch. 11th to Ben Atkins. 12th to Kenny Myatt. 13th to Scott Roush. Great run by Roush and Jacob Eichholz in the other Action Terra. 15th goes to Alex Allen. 16th goes to Tuomas Saarinen. 17th goes to Noah Hart. 18th goes to Gabe Messina. 19th goes to Jake Baskinger. 20th to Fitzwater. 21st goes to Nick Pericles. 22nd to Jacob Hart. 23rd to Sheldon. 24th to Bisceglia. And 25th to James Shelley. The next stop is the round of Quebec, and after that we go to the midpoint of the Canadian Tour, and then after that we go to the round of British Columbia, which should be a pretty interesting race here as we're going to some tracks that are quite different from each other. Anyway, we'll see you for the round of Quebec.